What's up, party people? We're back. I think week 4. Wow, almost a month since I started this reading vlog thing. I didn't finish reading anything big this week, although I am getting pretty close to finishing Don Quixote. But I realized that I should finish something every week, and so it's my idea now to start reading a short story every week, so I have something, at least something to talk about. So this week we are going to get into Goethe's The Man of 50, and then I did stop by the Value Village again. I'm thinking to make it like a weekly thing, see if I can find anything. I might strike out sometimes, who knows, but that way I maybe have something new to talk about as well. So I got a couple CDs and a couple books here, and then we'll go through my, spoiler, I'm gonna go through my Roald Dahl collection. But yeah, that's the video for today, so stick around and you'll get to hear about it. So yeah, von Goethe, German guy, 19th century, I believe. Does it say in here? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways, Goethe, he's most known for his Faust, which I have talked about on this channel before, before I started the blog series. I'm not sure, kind of a dry video maybe. But this book is short and snappy, because Faust is thick, okay? I'm not even sure how many thousands of lines, and it's written in poetry, so it's a bit more inaccessible maybe to some people, although the rhymed verse in the translation I have is quite delightful, I will say. But yeah, Man of 50, it kind of has a complicated plot. I'll try to summarize it briefly here for you. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds, because there's a lot of like relationships going on, and it's kind of going back and forth a little bit, so it's kind of easy to get lost, but I'll do my best. So imagine this, okay? There is a brother and a sister, and the sister has a daughter, and the brother has a son. They're around the same age, so the son's a bit older, and the son and the daughter are, well, they're cousins, but back in that day, it's not that weird for cousins to get married, and so it's kind of agreed in the family that they're going to eventually get married. And the reason that's beneficial for the brother and the sister is because they can keep the estate in the family, right? They don't have to lose possessions by marrying somebody outside of the family. And so that's the plan. And so the brother, who's also known as the Major, he comes over to his sister's estate, and they just kind of chatting business, you know, talking shop. And Hillary, the daughter of the sister, comes out, and she's kind of being coy and flirtatious, and the guy's like, what the heck? Because it doesn't mention her age, but I'm assuming she's around like 18 to 20, something like that. And he's like, that's a bit weird, right? Because I'm 50, right? So the Man of 50 is the brother. And she eventually, in like the 2 or 3 days that he's there, just professes that she's completely infatuated with him, head over heels, and he doesn't know what to do, right? Because he's 50. Like, this is weird. And so he kind of, he's a good guy, right? He's not like a weirdo. He's like, no, this can't happen. Like, he kind of resists it at first, but she's persistent. And so he's like, I guess, like, maybe we can change the plan. And if she marries me, the estate will still stay in the family so that the plan still works. He kind of gives into it. And then, yeah, so he goes to see his son, and his son is anticipating being married to Hillary, but he's kind of gotten involved with his other group of friends, and in this group of friends there's this very attractive widow who is like a bit older than him, but you know, he doesn't mind. And so they're kind of flirting as well, and so the plan's kind of up in the air. And then the son kind of brings out that he's in love with the widow, and so the brother, the dad, the Major, he's like, this is perfect, I didn't even have to say anything. And he's not even into Hillary, so she can be married to me. And so after that, he, and I'm butchering this, by the way, if you actually want to hear it, read the book, but eventually the father goes to see the widow as well, and they kind of chat it up. She's being flirtatious with him as well. And then I'm forgetting a part. The Major, one of his, and this is a major theme of the book, so I should not have missed this, but the Major, he wants to make himself young again because he doesn't feel suitable to marry Hillary, because he feels old. He's got gray hair, a few wrinkles, and so one of his friends stops by who's an actor, and this friend is 10 years older than him but looks 10 years younger, and so he's like, how is this possible? And the friend is like, well, I'm an actor, so I gotta stay looking good. I have all these tinctures and balsams and lotions, and this exercise regime and this sleep schedule that keeps me young. So the friend leaves his servant behind who knows all the tricks, and the servant is helping the major kind of go through the whole routine so he can like be young again. And so he's looking dapper. He got his suit tailored and all that, and he's looking sharp. So when he goes to see the widow who is flirting with his son, he's looking good, right? And so eventually, cut back to the estate. Hillary and her mother are hanging out there doing their day-to-day business, and one night it's raining and the son just comes barging through the doors and he's completely hysterical, and they're like, what's going on? Like, and he's like out of his mind, just like super sad, and he falls into like a fever and he's in the bed for a few days, and eventually it comes out that he had been flirting with the widow and she was kind of flirting too much, and so he kind of got too passionate and proposed to her, and she rejected him. She wasn't into him. It turns out she was just being nice, and he misread the situation. Poor guy, right? Not really much he could do, but it didn't end well for him. So he's now at the estate with Hillary, and he's recovering from his fever, and he's there for a few months, and there's this giant rainfall. And then it freezes over, so that everyone's ice skating back and forth and kind of helping people that maybe can't leave their house, bringing them food and stuff. And so him and Hillary are ice skating a lot, and that's romantic. So they're kind of flirting quite a bit. And so the father comes back, and he sees them, and he thinks he's going to marry Hillary. But now the son, he doesn't know that the son's been rejected by widow, and now the son is with Hillary. And so he's like kind of distraught, right? Because now even though he resisted it at first, he was kind of now into it. And he's been doing all these exercise stuff and these lotions to keep him young. And so he was really anticipating that he would marry Hillary. And then, yeah, eventually the major talks to his sister, and they're like, okay, well, let's go ahead with the original plan because it makes more sense for the son to marry Hillary, right? So the man of 50 is very reasonable about it. And eventually the son is like asking Hillary, but Hillary changes her mind. She knows that the son resembles the father, but she wants the father still, and so she is not willing to marry the son. And so the son leaves, goes back to he's working in the army, so he goes back to his garrison, and the father gets a note in the mail, come to the post office. And he's a businessman, so he's like, thinks nothing of it, goes to the post office, and lo and behold, it's the hot widow, and she's into him because she met him when he went to see his son. And so now everything's topsy-turvy, right? It's kind of opposite of what we anticipated at the beginning. And the story is actually ambiguous in terms of the ending, but there is a footnote that in the original edition, Hillary changes her mind and ends up with the son, and the widow ends up marrying the father, and everything's happy. So it's a happy ending, which is good. But there's a lot of themes in here in regards to obviously age, the age gap, relationships, how people navigate sort of complex life situations and stuff. And it's only like 66, 70 pages. So Goethe packs a lot in here. Now, I enjoyed the story. How much did I enjoy the prose style? He kind of switches back and forth between like narrating and then what's the word for it? Like the dialogue, I guess. And I liked it, but it wasn't like my favorite, you know? And I'm basic. I rate books on the Goodreads scale. Whole numbers, 1 to 5. This is a 3 out of 5 for me. So yeah, a low 3. So good book. I like Goethe, but it didn't like stand out. It didn't smack me. It didn't knock me on my bottom, you know? It didn't didn't knock me on my butt. You know, when I think of a short story, I think of something like gripping and snappy, and I know this book was snappy, but not in the way that I would anticipate like a good short story. So I don't know, maybe in the coming weeks I'll read more stuff and we'll see if we can find something a bit more shocking, perhaps. So yeah, anyways, good book. Don't put it at the top of your list, but if you got the time, takes what, an hour, 2 hours to read. It's a quick one. Anyways, let's move on to the stuff that I bought this week. I got a couple CDs and a couple books. For CDs, I think I mentioned last week that I'm really into like the 80s, like hard rock and like, you know, the classic rock, that sort of thing. And so this week I found Aerosmith's Honkin' on Bobo. I'm not. It's such a funny name. Who's Bobo? It sounds like a monkey, like an ape. Anyways, is it any good? I listened to a couple songs. Seems all right. Does it have any famous songs on it? I don't know. Anyways, there's kind of a illicit picture on the inside. Close your eyes if you don't want to see that. So that's kind of cool. Then the other one I got was Heart. And I think last week I also showed you that I purchased a Heart album. That one was their self-titled. This one is Brigade. So quickly expanding my Heart collection. I did just listen to this. I made homemade tomato soup with grilled cheese. And so that was really good. Like I dried in the oven, but I dried tomatoes, onions, garlic, and oil, and then blended it and like mixed it with heavy cream. It's really good. Anyways, that was my CD for cooking today, which is a great way to cook. Turn on a CD. Usually by the time the CD finishes, you're done cooking. It's perfect. So anyways, those are my 2 albums of the week. And then for the books that I picked up, I've got J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, and this is the Oxford Classic Edition. So it has the 2 different prints. Peter Pan in Kensington Gardens, and then Peter and Wendy. So apparently the history behind this book is quite complex, and it was published many different times under different names. It was extracted from a larger story. I don't really know exactly everything to do with it. And I had a copy of this previously, but it wasn't like complete, I guess. And this one has both of them in it. So, and it's in nice condition too for $3.50. So, really nice. Anyways, the second book I got was Roald Dahl's The Giraffe and the Pelly and Me. Pelly being pelican, I suppose, based on the title or on the illustration. Of course, he's hanging with his main homeboy, Quentin Blake, who illustrates most of his stuff. So that's pretty freaking cool. Quentin Blake just makes me laugh. Great illustrator. Anyways, that was $2.50, so good deal. This got me thinking. I didn't know this was a Roald Dahl book. Maybe it's extracted from a larger, like, short story volume. Anyways, I think my Roald Dahl's almost complete. I know I'm missing Matilda. I don't have Matilda. I saw it a few weeks ago at the store when I bought a whole bunch of books, but I'm like, I can't justify, like, adding adding more to the pile. So it's out there, and I will catch it eventually. But I thought we could take a look, because I'm pretty close, I think, to getting everything. So this is the Roald Dahl that I have. You can pause the video there if you want to look at the titles, but we'll go through them. So in terms of the shorter ones, I have, well, the one I just showed you. Then I've got Revolting Rhymes, which I'm very excited to read. And for most of these, I probably won't read them until I have kids, and then I'll read them with my kids. 2 birds, 1 stone, right? So that'll be great. George's Marvelous Medicine. All of these just make me laugh. SEO Trot. Not sure. I assume it's about a turtle because that's what's on the front. The Magic Finger. Okay. Now this next one, I actually have memories of being read this as a kid, and that's The Twits. And I don't know why this book specifically, because I know my parents read more Roald Dahl to me than just The Twits. But I remember this book, and it's just like snippets of memories. It's not like, I don't remember the full plot of what happens. But I just have like these images ingrained in the back of my brain. That one of them is the tree with the birds in it that they shoot to make meat pies. And they play pranks on each other in this book. And so another one of the ones I remember is that the husband makes his wife feel short because he stacks coins underneath the legs of her stool every morning. So she gets up and feels like she's shrinking. And then I think the other one I remember is when the wife ties a bunch of helium balloons to the guy and then chains him to the ground to like stretch him or something. Which, I don't know why that's so funny, but it's so funny. Oh no, it's the other way around. Here's the scene. Yeah, she's flying off into the sky. And then, oh wow. Anyways, the Twits is hilarious. And I don't even think it would take that long to read if I wanted to sit down and do it. But anyways, what a gem. And then I have the 2 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory ones. So obviously Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and then the second one is Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Now, apparently Roald Dahl was planning on making a 3rd book called Charlie in the White House, but it was never finished. So I don't know if he died or if he just gave it up, or and I'm not even sure if they print it. So I know it's unfinished, but sometimes they might still print it just for posterity, right? So I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I just have the two. The next one, I love this movie, okay? What's his name? Wes Anderson adapted a stop motion of Fantastic Mr. Fox, and it's one of my favorite movies. It's really, really good. So I should probably watch that again soon, because it's awesome. And here we have James and the Giant Peach. Honestly, I don't remember what happens in this one, but I guess when they impeached Trump, this is probably the peach they put him in, because if you need to impeach somebody, it has to be a big peach. So I'd imagine the peach from this book is the one they put Trump in. And then The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar and Six More. So this is a compilation of short stories, and it says at the top that this is the world's most scrumdiddlyumptious storyteller. And I love that word, if it is a real word, I don't know. Scrumdiddlyumptious. Oh man, you have to have special talent to be a kid's writer. Anyways, The Witches, okay? Don't really remember anything about that. I'm not sure if I read it as a kid, but that looks funny. BFG, For the Big Friendly Giant. I do have memories of this one being read as a kid. Can I tell you? Oh, look at that. There's a hockey card in it. Sean Mahanan from the Calgary Flames. Now, I live in Edmonton, so I'm probably just going to rip this up and throw it in the garbage, but maybe that's worth money? Probably not. Anyways, little hockey card. Little gem in the book. Danny and the Champion of the World. And then here are some other ones. So, this one, The Umbrella Man, is a collection of short stories, but it's not intended for kids. It's intended for teenagers or adults. So I think it's a bit more dark humored. I don't know much about it, but yeah. So maybe I shouldn't put that one on the kids shelf. I don't know, but I like keeping my authors all together on the bookshelf, like all the doll in one place. But anyways. Then these are the last two I have, and these are his autobiographies. So we have Boy, Tales of Childhood, and then also Going Solo. So these are just a bunch of funny anecdotes from his childhood. And then this one is when he goes to World War II as a pilot, I think. Anyways, yeah. All of them illustrated by Quentin Blake, which is awesome. Yeah, I think that'll be all for today. I don't know how long has this video been now. Oh, 18 minutes. Yeah, time to wrap it up, guys. I've been yapping for too long. Is that a cringe word, yapping? I've been talking for too long. I don't know. I feel like girls say yapping. I'm not sure if it's a guy appropriate term, but I guess it is because I've been talking for 18 minutes without stopping. So, yikes. Maybe I need medicine. Maybe I need George's Marvelous Medicine. Where is that? Oh, it's at the bottom. I'm gonna spill my stack if I reach for it. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for wasting 18 minutes of your life. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And if you want to see more, subscribe, because then you won't see more if you don't subscribe. It just makes sense. It just makes sense, okay? So yeah, see you next time.